Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Crypto Lifer, let's go. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Critical times here for Bitcoin. Let's break it down. Let's talk about what's happening to BTC. It's crazy out here. Awesome weekend. We got some good pumps. Ethereum got a nice shot to the upside. If you were with me, we made some great trades on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Shout out to anyone that possibly got into those Bitcoin calls I made yesterday and throughout Saturday with the Ethereum call. Couple coins I'm looking at to look out to as well with Ethereum with the big breakout here to the upside of keeping the trade alive. Stop loss of break even. We'll see how far we can take the trade. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Look at this shoulder, kind of head shoulder, bit of a lower low there. Bitcoin looking like it might dump to the downside. Right now, when we woke up, BOOKMAP had 117.5 and a little bit lower kind of mapped out. So far, we're headed down to the red. BOOKMAP is amazing. Link in the description. I do get a commission if you sign up or use BOOKMAP, so let me know. Hit the link to BOOKMAP, and I greatly appreciate it. BOOKMAP's pretty hot. It shows us where the liquidity is hiding. While people see candlesticks, I see liquidity, and it's more than just trading to technical analysis. There's just a little more to an edge on that, and I can kind of see where we're likely. Like this is 1750, 117.5 looks very likely here for Bitcoin. Nothing's a guarantee, but it looks very, very likely. All right, moving forward here as we continue through Bitcoin land. Bang, bang, bang. Shout out to all my beautiful people here on the live, too. Thank you for being amazing and constantly supporting the Lifer. We had an amazing weekend, and I hope you had a fun trading with the Lifer. Sam Price, I had a good time trading with the Lifer, too. Hey. If you can't make fun of yourself, who can you laugh with? Okay, so let's take a look. Fiat leak. A lot of money flowing into the market, as you can see. Bitcoin, Ethereum. A little bit of algo there coming on in there. Aave, DeFi, Avalanche back in the mix again. Some BONK getting thrown up in there. A lot of Bitcoin. XRPH, Ethereum, HBAR, Solana, big Solana buy there. GraphLink, SHIB. I love how you can kind of see the money flowing in. Like even Sushi, remember Sushi Swap? Tether, right? Chainlink, Litecoin, Bitcoin. Unbelievable. Look at the Bitcoin buying and BONK. A lot of BONK. Wow. Pretty cool to watch as that fiat leak, as the money leaks out of the fiat and in to cryptocurrency. Pretty awesome. I think it's cool. Maybe you don't think it's as cool as me, but I think it's pretty cool. Right? Shout out to all my lovers of life. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on this beautiful, beautiful Monday. God blessed us with another awesome day to take our life by storm and go after everything that we want or actually desire and believe that we can become. You know, success is not something that you chase. It's something you become by doing the same thing over time. Little by little, you chip away until something happens. Somehow, some way, you end up in a different place in time. And you're like, how? You just keep pushing. Bang, bang, bang. Trump says he'll miss Powell after he leaves very soon. So crazy, right? As they're building up the hype there, as things could get bigger and bigger. Vine source, 115%. As Elon Musk teases AI revival. Will the gains sustain? Vine keeps pumping. I put out Vine 2 back here. Never hit the stop. It just continued to rip. So shout out to anyone that did hear about Vine, got into Vine at those low prices at 0.37. Now Vine is already a penny and almost a half here. Look at the insane movement here for Vine. 3.5x on the daily time frame. So there's money to be made out here. It is the right coin at the right time. But dang, I hold some Vine. And so I like to see kind of that pump and see what's happening to Vine. Let's break down Bitcoin on the bigger time frame. You know, we kind of talked about the importance last night of dominance, Tether dominance, Bitcoin dominance in Bitcoin with the total 3 market cap, and things started to kind of open up here for the altcoins, Ethereum, Bitcoin too. Kind of gave you guys the, like last night's stream, which somehow got deleted due to some way. But last night's stream, if you were able to see it, I hope you did, was unbelievable. One of the best we've had in a long time. Really broke things down in a short amount of time. Gave you the sauce you needed and just like, bang. So, they're all awesome. I'm just, you know, there's some serious probabilities we want to figure out right now based on altcoin season. And I feel like last night was just so spot on for that information. So, let's take a look here at the weekly time frame. Like I always do. And close to the monthly, which is closing soon. So far, the monthly will close pretty bullish. I'll take that. The 2-week chart looks okay to me too. But the weekly, let's break it down. Let's talk about it. In a beautiful uptrend, Higher lows all the way up, higher highs all the way up. Everything looking dandy. All right. Definitely have some support in these two places, 100,000. And you can see previous resistance will become supported about 109,260, 109,000, 109K, right? So if we came back to 109,000, it wouldn't be crazy. You do flip on the moving averages. You can see the 21 is pretty far away from price action. Whenever we start to get that far away, I don't care what time frame, you got to start thinking that there could be somewhat of a pullback. So like this could still be on the radar. I'm not saying this is guaranteed, but it's got to be something you consider. So if we do take this dump, because if we take this dump and you don't consider this, everyone will get bearish on you. And look, that's also, look, what if we make a head and shoulder? We are pretty high up in the patterns. We do have the 21 away from the 200. Things are starting to kind of get, pretty distant there. So it is showing signs of what we look for when we're getting into the extended zone. Either we're going to just absolutely shoot out of nowhere, So I just always want to remain cautious that I have no idea where Bitcoin's going. Could this be the top of the rally? Probably not. I don't know. But it could be, right? We don't know. Most people would laugh at me if I even said an inkling of maybe. I don't know, though. There's a chance, right? You never know. What if there's a black swan? What if something happened we never thought possible? An alien invasion. Like, you never know. You see what I'm saying? Like, these things are unlikely. I'm not saying they're happening. I'm not saying we're getting invaded by aliens. A zombie apocalypse. You get it? But anything is possible. Okay? I know. You think it's ridiculous. Nobody's going to come and eat your chicken dinner. I get it. So let's take a look here. 139, 140,000. Even if we pulled all the way back in September and began a pump. No rate hikes, sideways price action. We could drag out through August and then get a beautiful move later on in September. I'm looking for the uptrending flag or the safe flag, the flag that makes you feel like you're not going to lose, just like nice sideways, beautiful flag. This would be far more this would be nice. Easy on the heart, way less stressful, nice and easy. So this is what we're looking for. I'm not saying this is guaranteed. We're still in the midst of both of these being in their possible frame, right? Once we get I'd say one, even more, two more candles for sure, then it's more likely you're going sideways. Very unlikely we'd be dumping from that. 5-day chart has a bullish candle, but now that's turning red, and it's an indecision doji. That closes in about tomorrow. It closes tomorrow night, Tuesday night. 3-day chart looks good. It was the last chart we really put our faith in here as we went up and down. I kept drawing the flag saying, I see the 3-day chart about to do damage out the flag. It did exactly that. So can the 3-day chart bounce back to the top of the channel? Or is this thing going to start to collapse to the downside? So 3-day chart, a little far from the 21-day moving average. And then the daily, just doing its thing, coming back down, in my humble opinion, back to the top of the pattern. So it didn't hit the candle bodies, but it did hit the range, pretty much almost the range. And then it's attempting to make a tweezer top again on the daily time frame. So let's zoom in here and look. So this makes sense. I mean, if you consolidate in this way, it makes sense. Daily would be red, and we could go basically back up to green tonight and up and down as we get tighter and tighter in the range here for Bitcoin. So it's definitely all these things are possible. I'm open-minded. But right now, it's just tight price action. Looks like we could even get 3 or 4 more days of sideways price action, which I'm telling you, would be very fun for the altcoins. They would love it. And then realistically, you just take, your short-term target, which is what you want to see there on the flag. And that positions us somewhere at about 133K. And it says, you could be there before the end of August too, which is, and a lot of these projections have played out. Remember the 120K projection and a lot of things we were talking about. So now we look at the daily resistance at basically 111.7. And then some good support right now at 116, 117. So we'll see what happens. And BOOKMAP suggesting that you're at least going to eat right into where you're at, a little lower to 117.6, which makes sense. They're going to squeeze the longs right there. They just squeezed some shorts, squeezing some longs. Monday, not your day to trade. Remember, you don't see me high rolling, swinging it around here on Monday. No, I took my trades on Bitcoin this weekend, and I kept my weeks, my Ethereum trade open which actually got pulled back pretty nicely so far too as well. So might be time to just take a scalpelino out of this. I get back in another time. You know what I mean? I take my profits, especially when it looks like we're just gonna, that could be an inverted head and shoulder. Take its time. But a beautiful day. And that's 2 wins in a row. And we just keep rocking it that way. No stress. Especially on a Monday. Like whatever I get on Monday, blessings from the Lord. So back to Bitcoin on the daily. We're going to run into that 8-hour. Doesn't look amazing. Looks like it could be making a right shoulder. Same here with the 4-hour time frame. Get this shoulder, this head. Can you make a right shoulder on the 4-hour? And so that's kind of what's in the cards. That's what's in the cards here for Bitcoin. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Can you break out to the upside, get this continuation move up, and get a blast on out of here? And so that's kind of, the idea here for BTC. A lot of altcoins responding well. There's a lot of coins that look hot to me. So I want to, we're going to spend some good time on the alts and break it down on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning, man. Today was gorgeous. Walked to the ocean, looked out, jumped on in, took a swim. Man, sweet decks, momentums. A lot of good sweet decks out there. Bang. Yeah. I like the, I love the Deep Protocol myself, but you could do, Caspa also coming back strong, which is pretty interesting, right? Didn't expect it in total. Bigger time frame always wins. It's always what you don't think it is. Hey, never think about it over here. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to everybody here. If you want to jump in and trade where we traded like we made money this weekend, think about it. Made money on a Saturday. Insanity, right? You could trade on the week's link, Bit2Nex, BTCC, where we trade the NASDAQ and made money too as well. Doubled the account on our way for more. And so we'll see. I looked at the NASDAQ, looks just like Bitcoin. See that shoulder, head, right shoulder, kind of dumping on the smaller time frame. So yeah, we're just struggling with liquidity almost all across the board today. And Bitcoin got a lot of love throughout the weekend, which kind of you can't get on the regular markets too. So yes, exactly. So here we go. Kind of bring this down. So can we get the right shoulder play that we're looking for? So far, everything's kind of going our way. 4 hours coming back to that 21. 2-hour time frame hugging that. The 1 hour back to the 200 moving average. 15-minute finally kind of broke the 200. We talked about it this morning. You'd like to see that stay above it. Falling down means we're probably going to come back to the bottom of the target too. So, right somewhere here, or the bottom of the pattern. But the pattern's not amazing, right? The bottom of the pattern's what, 117,556 right here for Bitcoin. So yeah, if I had to make a call today, it just looks like we're going to kind of stutter step. And your best bet is just to hold this trend line when we dump and go sideways. It's going to be about 117.5, exactly where BOOKMAP has all the liquidity. Looks like we'll get a bit of a short squeeze, and then we can reconvene from there. So who knows? No guarantees, but it does look like we're going to get that move, break 118,000, and take a little dump to the downside. And you can see here, too, this is like a complex head and shoulder. Like you don't really have anything there, but you get these. And then this is a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. You can see that. And you made the measured move there. And then that measure moves. So it just looks like you're headed down somewhere to about 117.5. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, if I had to make a call, Bitcoin is bearish. And even this morning, we were looking for either sideways or a dump. It didn't look like we were going to get a massive pump out of anywhere. Looked like it was going to have to take its time if we were going to get that. And that's a descending triangle on the way back to 117,495. Makes sense to me. And again, it is already breaking out. I did jump on the bandwagon here. I'm not trying to say, oh, look, you called it short as it went down. Yeah, it wasn't like I called it right there and it dumped. But you're below the 200 moving average on the 1 minute. My signal is to long above that. You had a little flag here. Why didn't I take the signal? It's Monday morning. I know not to go too hard on the signal on Monday morning. We've been in kind of somewhat of a downtrend here too as well. So it tells me this is likely to continue to fall down a little more. And just to kind of get our bearings and figure out where we're going. It does say we could head to about 117,464. So, Bitcoin. I'd love it if it got a crazy bounce here back to the upside. If it made some bullish divergence. Small time frames, basically the first thing you're looking for is the 30-second to breach back above the 200 moving average. You get that? You can get yourself onto a bit of a rally, right? It's the first thing that has to happen right now. This 30-second breaks that 200. Okay. Then we can say, okay, maybe there's a chance here. And there's resistance already waiting for us at about $119,000 for Bitcoin. Stay hydrated throughout the day if you can. I guess you can. You got to take charge. Of course you can. Shout out to the channel sponsor, Kinesis. Pretty cool. You can take your gold and silver, set it to Kinesis, and get basically a coin that represents what you got. And then you could use it for yield. You can get a metal back card and get back they're basically a Kinesis coin, earn the KAU paid into your account up to 10%. I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? So you could basically start turning your gold into something you can use on a daily basis for yield and for, into DeFi. And, over the course of a year or two, you might end up with a bit more than you realize. And then you can convert it to Bitcoin here, Tether to Ethereum. You could, all sorts of cool options that you never thought possible through gold. So this basically tokenizes gold, turns it into something you can use, basically turns it into a crypto. It's pretty awesome. And it's backed 1-to-1. Whatever you put in, you have. You can always leave at any time and get your gold sent right to you yet again. So this is Kinesis, Kinesis.money, the place to put your gold to work and re-enter it back into the system. Like me, if you have a bunch of gold sitting around doing nothing, Kinesis is the way to get your gold moving and getting liquidity out of it into the digital space. Pretty awesome. It's innovative. There's no one else doing it like Kinesis. Shout out to Kinesis. So Bitcoin, I see bearish times ahead in the short term, though. On our way to 117,490, $500, right? So Bitcoin, nothing crazy. It's a Monday, false move Monday, back and forth liquidity. We have Jerome Powell. We have a lot to talk about. Let's break down the week ahead, as we did last night. If you were due diligent, but most people come here to the stream on Monday morning, right? Not as many people like that stream for whatever reason. Sunday night and Saturday night, people want to party. They want to be out. They watch basketball, football, all sorts of games, right? So I compete on those on Saturday and Sunday nights. And also a lot of my people are asleep in Europe and other places. We have to remember the time zone. It's 5 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So shout out to my loyal lifers. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. Back at it again. Looking at these hot coins that could be, there's always some opportunity out here. So the JOLTS job opening is tomorrow at 10 a.m. That's going to move the market, create volatility for sure. For sure. Then you have, Australian dollar, right? The CPI, but whatever. But that's still, if you're a Forex trader, you got to watch that, right? And it could trickle around. We have ADP non-farm employment change coming. All right, U.S. Then the advanced GDP at 8:30, advanced GDP price index, right? Right here too. So there's more news coming Wednesday at 8:30, which is crazy. And then the Fed funds rate at 2 p.m. that day. So then we get the Fed funds rate, which says it will be flat again. But will he start to turn hawkish? It says, the next one, we're going to have to get a rate cut at this point. Could there be an emergency rate cut? Anything could happen. I'm open-minded, but right now, the odds are telling us that it's very likely, with high percentage, that we're not going to get a rate 97% chance that we stay pretty flat. So anything is possible, believe you me. I'm open-minded to it, but the odds are just not in, it's not in the cards right now. It would be awesome, though, and it would change the whole landscape of everything and kind of shake it up pretty nicely, but not so much. So that's going to be a big day. We have a lot going on that day, right? And then Thursday, if we look, we have unemployment claims at 8:30, core PCE and unemployment cost index quarter over quarter. And then Friday, we have non-farm employment and unemployment rate. So just bombarded by information that's going to flex the market. We're talking about 8:30 Friday, 8:30 Thursday, and Wednesday, 2 p.m. with the Fed funds rate. So bang. And then the job opening tomorrow at 10 a.m. So a lot coming at us, a lot to think about, a lot kind of coming our way. So bang, bang, bang. Bitcoin. I use a bot that always trades constantly, 24/7, doesn't get emotional, doesn't freak out, just keeps trading. If you've done well in trading, you made a kitty and you want to put that kitty to work, The bot's pretty interesting. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Another guy saying you should be taking his financial advice. Get yourself your own financial advisor or do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. But what I will tell you right off the bat, right, and to kind of teach you about is the fact that, you're emotional. I'm emotional. We're human beings. You can say you're not, but eventually you do have some type of emotions, I would hope. And the bot just doesn't. The bot can buy in fear. The bot can buy the actual bottom, sell the top, and it does a really good job of getting itself in and out. The last buy the bot made was right here. You can see it's clearly in the money. It's above where it bought. And it's holding on for its a bigger move. And it believes there's going to be a bigger pump, that this is just a higher low in the continuation here further to the upside. So I also put out a lot of the alerts that the bot puts out. People like to, some people love it. Pretty interesting ideas, but this is here, right? And this will trade for you. And I like it. It trades Bitcoin on a perpetual contract, just doing its thing. That is Minotaur Trading Systems. If you want to take the link below in my description to find out more, you'll book a call. They'll sit with their team. They'll explain what it is. It is a lot more pricey than most things, but it's lifetime. You'll have it forever. And for me, mine already paid for the price that we sell for easily. So, but hey, you'd have to figure that out for yourself and make sure it works. But I like it a lot. Look at this thing. It's been doing absolutely amazing. And so I let it run. And I let it run with over $100,000 too. So I think just keeps doing what it does. BTC, baby, BTC. Wow. And what a summer it was. I'm looking back. Today's kind of a day of, we're almost ending July. A lot of people kind of finishing off some things. We go back to school down south here, right? Georgia down, starting August 15th, So it's a couple more weeks. Really, like 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks left, and school starts. I think our school starts like the 8th or 9th or something back home. So we have about, 11 days till school starts. And we're back in motion. Back in Florida, back to the grind, right? Off of La La Land here and Cape Cod, having an absolute blast. But it's been amazing. And, there's that emotional, you're leaving, it's changing. I don't know if anyone else changes the seasons or goes different places or if you had a good trip. But God bless everybody. You guys made it an amazing summer. The stream kept going no matter what. I look back on that. I say, God, how the heck do you push it? How do you get me to get it through no matter where we go, no matter what zip code I travel in? And I thank all my subscribers and everybody that supports me, because without you guys, man, I wouldn't travel the world. It wouldn't be so fun. I wouldn't have the peace of mind. But I have such a beautiful, strong community, and the stream keeps pumping. And may God bless every single crypto lifer out there. I love y'all. God bless the crypto lifers. Let's go, baby. Yes. Just excited for the future. Excited for how much we accomplished in 2025. Can't believe what we'll do throughout the rest of this year. And where we're going to go as a community in 2026. Shout out to anyone that changed their lives, fired their boss, made big plans, decided to go for something big, wrote it down and went after it and made it happen, because this is your year. It always was your year. You got to decide that it is, and then it is. And there's still time left in 2025 to make a huge impact on your life. So you can look back on this year and say, man, that was the year it all happened. That was the year I really pushed myself to the limit. That was the year I made a change and started going after what I truly believed in, right? For sure. So that is a descending triangle, as we said. You can see, just showing you how these things work. You can even see the head and shoulder pattern inside of it. But it does look like it's headed down low to 117.5. And then we're just going to smash right into the liquidity the BOOKMAP said we were going to. So yeah, if you long that, you could kind of see what was likely going to happen here on this Monday. Low liquidity Monday after the weekend was just insane. A good weekend. A lot of pumpage, a lot of action, right? And they're just sweeping the lows. If you made a bigger trade out there, I'd probably be able to hold it. I'm just looking to swing trade it, so I'm happy with my gains. Gains, baby, gains. Yeah, and look at that quick dump to the downside. So we took nice move on Ethereum. And we're able to I sold basically somewhere right in here. So I got in here, sold there, bought here, sold there. That's all you can ask for. Stop beating yourself up. As long as you made a good trade, got in and out, there's always another opportunity. Pay the trader, keep it moving. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying, no one ever broke taking profits. That's the old saying in trading. Look at that fear and greed at 73. I like where it's hovering here. It's in a pretty good spot for accumulation even. Once Bitcoin gets into the 89, 90s, It's going to be time to take some profits for sure. Anytime we got in here, I didn't take profits. I definitely regretted it. So I hope we have enough room for the alts to run here until we get into this hot zone for Bitcoin. 118,000 battling here on BOOKMAP for BTC. Key levels getting, broken for just that, in the local areas. So short term looks a little bearish, mid-term looks okay, Yeah. And let me jump into the chat here. How's everybody doing? Shout out to Chem Sketch, 777s. Shout out to South Warrior. Shout out to DEGEN Friend. Shout out to Reliable J. Bang, bang. Shout out to Dizzy Gang. Yeah. Shout out to Marcus. Let's go. God bless you, Marcus, in the house. Shout out to Dude Tang, the Crypto Surfer, Mr. Butters, Reliable J, and all the beautiful people out here on the live. Hit that button to match the watchers. God bless you. Thank you, man. Sammy has changed so many lives. It's amazing. Thank the Lord for this stream. God bless you, Mr. Butters. Thank you. And if you want to jump on into the trading group, you can go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Go to cryptolifer.com. All right. You can hit the subscribe button, and you can subscribe to a monthly, a quarterly, or an annual subscription to the Discord, where I'm here every single day talking about it. Once a week, we go over my entire portfolio, talk about the ups and downs, what happened throughout the week, our plan, go through kind of all the altcoins, search for the new narratives, find out what's hot. We found DJI 6930 pretty early. Found this coin Hustle that's up already 100% gains right there. We found Trash that did damage, and we're starting to dip our toes down into that decentralized world of smaller, market cap coins, and it's been interesting. There has been opportunity out here, so hey, I just look for the TA that makes sense. Like that was a flag, said it would break out, it did. This is a flag, says it will break out, we'll see what happens. Maybe it dumps. Ascending triangles are 50-50, but we will see. Anything on the NASDAQ as it pumps back up on the 1 minute? No, just not where I want it to be just yet, but I do like the bounce. We get back above these key levels, we start to flag out, then maybe, just maybe. But it's still a Monday. I don't like to trade till about 6-7 p.m. on Monday afternoons, because that's when we get our liquidity back. We find out who got liquidated, and things just kind of start to settle again. Until then, it's kind of every man for himself, and I've seen so many liquidations, both sides, and back and forth, and false moves that I've told myself after years of battling, and I made some good trades on Monday. Sometimes I've seen exactly what I should see, the model, and I just take it in regardless. But other times, especially in the summertime, hasn't been as predictable. It's not predictable. So I don't want to do things that aren't as predictable as they should be, right? So if it's not as predictable, why take it? And low volume makes things more unpredictable, right? Because I can't see where the liquidity is going to come or how it's going to come, and so in that nature, due to the nature of trading probability, we stay away from certain days on certain times because the odds are just not in our favor, right? It's just a smart thing to do. We take a look at this 3-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame on BONK, and it just looks like it's going to carry the team, right? I mean, that looks absolutely beautiful. If it dumps, so be it, but that just looks gorgeous. 21-day moving average touch and price, tight. I mean, that thing is ready to rock. So BONK looks like it's ready to moon on the 4-hour time frame. Looks like Ethereum still's got that look, Solana wants to pump. It's going to take BONK with it. Stop loss will be somewhere below this line here, which is 3105. BONK. Possible bigger move. Let's take a look at the 8-hour time frame. It's got legs. BONK on the 8-hour looks even better. I love the 8-hour time frame. I mean, look at this. Swing down to swing down. It's got hidden bullish, sideways price action. Stochastics want to run. RSI looks interesting to me. I like what I'm seeing here for BONK. So BONK suggesting it could get a 53% gain. I don't know. In the next, you'd say, if I hit shift and go sideways here, 9 days, something like that at the most, maybe even 6. But BONK looks very good. And again, Bitcoin will have to play games. We can't get a nasty collapse out of nowhere. That wouldn't help the case for this idea. But BONK's looking pretty nice. So if any coin looked hot right now, I would zero in on BONK. I mean, that's a setup and a half right now, going beautifully sideways. And hey, I could be wrong. What do I know? I'm just a guy that shows up every single day here on the live. Probably means absolutely nothing Probably just complete gibberish, you know? Hey, lifer, what's the plan for 100K? I don't know. Maybe we'll dance. We'll have like a big dance party or something, you know. Can you chart? No, I want to take Jay Soul to Burn Steakhouse, man, in Tampa. Yeah. And party with Jay Soul, man. Let's take a look. Jay Soul 84, man. That's it, man. Let's take a look at RIOT. And that's a mining, I put in USDT. That's a mining company, right? So last time we looked at RIOT, we were looking for it to break out on this bigger time frame, like this daily cup and handle. And so far it did, following Bitcoin. It's at a resistance again where it likes to hit. Look for it to flag out with this 21-day moving average. You know, possible a little sideways. If it's really bullish, it'll be an uptrending flag. If it's just regular, it'll make an ascending triangle or like a bull pennant, right? But this looks likely in about 5 days of consolidation, and then boom, when Bitcoin goes on that next tear, it does look like it's going to ride that next wave to the upside. Let's take a look here at the live chat, and then what I want to do is take a look at the fan funding. Shout out to TLA989. Sam, I found a gem of a coin. You got to look. PHI, Phi Protocol. Can you deep dive? Looks like a great opportunity. Tiny market cap, utility, and function app. Let's take a look at Phi. Right off the bat, man, God bless you. And this is why I love the stream. We got deep divers that do deep dives and bring us information that we shouldn't just get. We get spoiled in the stream, like all of us, including me, by the community. The community is unbelievable here. So jump on in, become a part of something bigger than yourself. Become part of the crypto lifers, where we help everybody else that puts their life into crypto become something bigger and better than themselves. Or not bigger, I mean, you don't have to be bigger, but you know what I mean? Progressively larger in some ways. Launched in November, FiCoin is a high-performance cryptocurrency designed to address the challenges of centralization, scalability, and accessibility in proof-of-work systems. Developed by a global team of blockchain enthusiasts, FiCoin leverages GPU mining, an ASIC-resistant algorithm, and innovative blockchain technology to ensure fairness and decentralization. Core features and technology: FiCoin is powered by FiHash, a custom proof-of-work algorithm designed to resist ASIC and FPGA mining dominance. This ensures that mining remains accessible to individuals with consumer-grade GPUs, preventing centralization by large-scale industrial mining operations. With a 15-second block time, FiCoin offers high transaction throughput and scalability. You know, and I like what he's saying. I'm going to counter-offer this idea. So he's saying, okay, you know, we're not going to let it so ASIC miners can mine it. So now big institutions can't put their money behind it. Great. But how big can that network grow then? No offense, it's a give or take. So we want it to be decentralized and only to be able to use it on your GPU. But we're going to not allow like the big boys to be able to build up on it. So it's just like, that's like if you wanted to develop real estate and you said anyone can only basically build one-bedroom houses, little one-floor, one-bedroom homes. And then the big boys cannot build apartment buildings. And then you wanted to have a thriving ecosystem. It just may not happen. I mean, eventually you're just going to have a bunch of small homes with nothing to, you know, no businesses around, nothing, you know, you get those big boys to build a building and stuff. Now they're supporting movie theaters, businesses, malls, like, you know, a lot of other businesses that people can open up that live in those places too. They can open up the businesses. I don't know. You know, I'm playing devil's advocate to that idea. I like it, but it's, you know, to me, it's almost like in a perfect world, you know, but I like it. It's got some good tokenomics. It's saying here. The distribution and supply model is entirely mine-based, ensuring for fair distribution without pre-minted coins. Mining rewards are structured as follows. And that's good. The pre-mines are shady, yeah. Ethereum, I believe, was a pre-mine too, you know. So, I mean, I shouldn't say shady because I don't want to be like, but you know what I mean. Like, they're just... So, FPHI, let's take a look at it now on the charts and see what it's looking like. Bitcoin attempting to find a bottom here. Inverted head and shoulder on the small time frames. Could get a bounce. 30-second chart looking to breach that 200 moving average. Let's take a look at Phi, USDT, Phi. And let me actually write a P instead of an O. Phi. Let's see here. If I could type. A book by Sam Price. Okay, let's take a look. Phi. I'm not getting it. It's not coming up as much. Let me see here. Maybe, and it says, where does it say it is on? FARTCOIN, PHI. And it's on Sol too, so we can look at it here. FARTCOIN. Tiny, really small there. I don't know. I don't know if I'm into this right now. Market cap looks better. Yeah, 660. I mean, under $1 million on the market cap. Like, there's a, hold on, there's a contract there. Sorry, I should have grabbed that in the beginning. Wow, tiny liquidity, tiny coin. I don't know. I'd be careful. Never got into something that says it's that small on a deck screener. So maybe you're into something. I don't know. I'd be a little sketched out. I don't know enough about it. So that looks like it kind of came to breach that previous support and resistance. It just got a resistance and likely to go further down. Almost looks like that's a bit of a bear flag now that would break to the downside, right? So I don't know. I'm more bearish than bullish on Bitcoin because it looks like it's got that big old liquidity bar and it's really close, and BOOKMAP has been spot on. How do you feel about the bullish div on the 1 day? Bullish div on the daily, he says. What chart? We're talking about Bitcoin. Can you chart RIOT, please? The miner on NASDAQ. And we took a look at that. And FARTCOIN, please, somebody says. So bullish div on the 1 day chart. I mean, there's hidden bullish divergence, right? A little bit. I mean, that's swings. I don't see bullish div on the 1 day. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying. Maybe some hidden bullish in a way, but I still don't see that either. I don't see it. Maybe we're talking about a different coin. I don't know. But let's take a look at our buddy over here, FARTCOIN. The old FARTCOIN. FARQUAD. FARTCOIN, US Tether here on MEXC. It's also on crypto. It's all over the place. So, wow. Had a nice pump to 169. All over it. And then came right back down inside the pattern. People took profits pretty fast. Right? They couldn't believe it. They're like, whoa. And now it looks like it could just be ready to go again. But that's crazy. If you're in it long term, you see a pump like that. Looks like it's going to flag out. Continue to move, do something, but it just doesn't flag. It goes right back down, goes sideways, stays inside the pattern though. So to me, the trade is still on. Nothing has changed. If it leaves this trend line and starts to drop, then it's coming down to the 200 moving average. And then it's kind of like alt season was lackluster too. So that means like the overall bigger market is flopping. So we don't want to see that. We'd like to see FARTCOIN, which was a premier coin, which I can't believe I'm saying, really get above this high and continue to do its thing over time. I still have faith in FARTCOIN. Stop loss basically could be moved way up at this point because we were in the gain. So it's up to you, though, how you want to take that trade or play the trade. But it did play out. So, it made some gains. But now we're kind of giving it all back, and we're watching the tightness here. Not my favorite. Not what I expected out of FARTCOIN. Wanted to see it hold that key level and continue to pump. Let me get back to the live chat here. You people are keeping me alive. I love y'all. The Muffin Man, somebody says. My goodness. Cake and Jupe. I mean, they've been hot. Cake and Jupe have use cases. People need them to get into other assets. People use them to basically access DeFi. And so they are the grease in the wheel here that keeps the greasy wheel going. You're the grease in the wheel that makes it a greasy wheel in the first place. So beautiful kind of falling wedge here for Cake. At the same time, extremely overbought on the bigger time frames. No, you know what I'm saying? Like the 4 hour, we had a tweezer top away from the 21-day moving average. So let's just take a look at everything kind of fresh with fresh eyes here on the daily. So the daily to me is a little high. However, we finally got back above resistance. So all I want to do is see Bitcoin make some type of sideways to downward price action. That's not too crazy. Touch the 21-day moving average and then get a beautiful move to the upside. Something like that, right? We want more volatility because that's what those green guns... Yeah. You changed many lives with Bake in 2021. I think Tut on BNB sitting at 70 mil pulls a massive move, brother. Full-heartedly believe Tut will be like Bake. Hey, man, you remember my Bake call. It's so amazing how many coins. I mean, it was amazing what happened, right? It was amazing. Amazing. We looked at Vine. Someone wants me to look at OP, and it got rejected by the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame and just get lost in these coins. Who wants to get lost in these coins with me? Forget what time it is. Forget where we're going. Forget what's happening. Just get lost in this. Just do so much TA. Get so much information that we can just demolish this market in a second's time. What I want to see is this coin come back down to the key area, this falling, not the falling, but this bottom trend line here. What looks to me like an ascending triangle, and then it can bounce back to the target. Sorry, my finger slipped back to the target here. And that's up, it can do it over time, right? It can do it over time. But I do see consolidation in the face of this flag on the way to $1.10. And Vine, we talked about Vine already pumping hard. Looks like it'll go like, where will Vine go with all the speculation? And I still hold my bag of Vine. I bought it a while back on the speculation too. So when we look at Vine, you want to say, well, the daily's pretty far ahead of the 21-day moving average there. That's usually a sign you're going to get a massive crash down. And you want to keep just looking at the smaller time frames, and you did make a lower high there. So shoulder kind of head, it could just make a right shoulder. But it did break out, it bounced. Bouncing right there, and you can see we came to the Fibonacci level, and boom, right off the 618 golden pocket, which is insane, right? I mean, that's just how beautiful this stuff works. So you have your consolidation, you pump from it, you rip, you start from consolidation, come back down, bounce off the 7, basically 706 a little bit, but really into that golden pocket, bounce back up on the 15. I don't have a lot of faith in the bigger time frames though. Like when I look at Vine, just too far away from the 21-day moving average. To me, that just has to come back down at one point somewhere, somehow. I'd monitor the smaller time frames, but I'm like, how can it not head somewhere back down to 8, But there is some weird AI talk, and, if it could just stay sideways for long enough, it could continue to bump. Something like this. And heck, we could see a 25, 26 cent Vine. Was that a quick alt season? You're funny. I mean, we have our run-ups, we have our pullbacks. It's really just the season in general. You just keep looking for opportunity, that's all. We like Cardano. Talked about Cardano yesterday, went over to inside the trading group, one of the charts that I kind of like that was ripping on the bigger time frames. So we look at it on the daily, and Cardano looks good. But right now, look, kind of a head and shoulder pattern, right? Like you almost got to turn this around and say, well, Cardano's headed back to the bottom of the channel for now. Like it's going to do something like this. I just want to make sure it stays above the daily 200 moving average, even when it pulls back here. And I just wanted to look at BOOKMAP, 118,100 holding. So we're holding 118,000, which ain't too shabby for Bitcoin. Not the worst thing in the world. And what are we looking for today to save the day here? Like we always try to find that daily bottom. Well, we're going to look for the 1 hour to make some type of double bottom, higher low right there. That is technically a low, a high, and a higher low. A bit of a double bottom that could save the day here. And is that our daily low? 117.9. Only time will tell. We basically juggle with price every day here. At the exact same time, the volatile time from 8, from the 8 a.m. beginning where I start posting, or 7 a.m. really, and then we go all the way, and the show starts battle till 12. These are the key times where I see so much volatility, and it builds up a lot between 9 and 12, and specifically between like 10:30 and 12:15 for whatever reason. That looks like a sloppy shoulder head, right shoulder. That looks like it's going to drop to the downside. Just doesn't look amazing to me. I am not a key fan right at the present moment of the TA for BTC, right? I mean, being a perma bull, you know, I'm not really a perma bull. I really just try to look for opportunity. But right now, as we watch the market, that's a head and shoulder pattern that's likely going to take you down. Look, shoulder, head, right shoulder. You can see it got maybe 2 right shoulders. The measured move is like 117,000 too. It's not, right? Not too far, but 117.5. Looks like we're going to get there no matter what. Like, Bitcoin's going to find a way to get to 117,000, whether we like it or not. That's just what's on the cards over here. Someone says Bitcoin's finished, just a Bitcoin wave. Wow, people think Bitcoin is cooked completely. Do you think we see less liquidity draws as the market matures? I think we see more liquidity draws as the market matures, honestly, because they got more attention, more ability to move. Yeah. Hidden bullish forming on the 1 hour time frame. If it drops more, it might bounce hard back up. Let's take a look at what you're saying. Hidden bullish on the 1 hour. I see what he's saying, because he's like, hey, but Lifer, we're getting this falling wedge here, or we're getting a downtrend on the RSI. But when we look at this with just, you know, it's there, but it's so slight. But I do see it. But it's like, it looks like any moment we could, it's not really going to happen, right? Because that could just fall right through, and then what does it end? You know, it's just. So it's close, though. For me, though, it's almost like 2 in real time, you know. Speak about the manipulated, filthy, artificial market movements. Trading, is it oh yeah, it's AI constantly going after in and outs, but we can see what they're doing. And that's why whenever we pass above key levels, the same thing happens time and time again. You know. Someone said the top is in, sell it all now. Stardog, convinced that the top is in. Hi Sam, do you know anything about KTA? It's supposed to be the fastest L1, just curious. We got into it at 12 cents. I talked about it on my channel very early. And then did like a 16x or 15x or something crazy. Went from 12 cents to like, or all the way to 12. It did something crazy. Let me show you. But we talked about Kita when it first came out. I was all over. I just liked it. Tokenmetrics found it. It fit my TA bill, and it started to kind of do its thing. I saw it pumping out of here. It definitely did that on the double bottom. Now it's got another level of support, and it could just start to kind of make another flag here. And everyone says, oh, but it's the same sauce each time. And we just keep growing. That looks interesting to me, and it has grown. And we pull the fib here, and you can see it bounced off a golden Fibonacci 786. So that's a very key area to bounce from. It's a great way to learn your fibs. You hit Alt F, you pull from the top bottom to the top impulse. You should be bouncing near these 786s, the 618s. If you're not, something's wrong, because this happens more than it doesn't. Most people think it doesn't, though, and their emotions are high when they're buying these lows, and they can't really convince themselves that it's worth it. And so they miss out. They miss out until either they leave trading or they eventually learn what I learned, that it's time to use your fibs and get in. Right? God bless, brother. Lifers for life. Check Spark. Shout out to my man. We appreciate you. Shout out to JIT TV. 1343, my man. Let's take a look at Spark. It's been a minute. And I looked at Spark on DeFi Llama. Look how much money's flowing into Spark right now. 8.3 billion with a B. And so we'll take a look at it for you. Yo, yeah. So a little pullback. This weekend was hot. Little pullback in the market. You know, smart to take my profits earlier this morning. So I already made dang near almost $1,000 making our gains, right? Into, Sunday night into Monday. So what a beautiful day it is to be alive. God bless everybody here. And thank you so much for always being with the Lifer. And it would have been a beautiful day whether I made gains or not. I don't want to make people think just because I made gains, I'm excited, because that's just not the case. But it's always nice when things go your way on a Monday morning, right? I mean, Talk about winning on Mondays. You know, I used to have to commute and go to work on Monday. It wasn't the worst job. Things were towards the end of my career in what I was doing. I ended up befriending my boss, who was a good friend of mine. Like, I would hang out at her house. We were buddies. So, like, I would go there and she would just, like, you know, politely send me emails and ask me what I needed to get done. And I knew what she needed, so I got it done almost without her even asking. And we were such a good team. And that was how things were towards the end. It didn't have to be like that. But there was other times when it was just quite miserable experience. So I'm so happy that I was able to get out of my 9-to-5 years ago, find a way out by using cryptocurrency, decide that my life was going to be different, decide that, you know, cryptocurrency was the way, and find my way out of the rat race. It was crazy. And every day now I still continue to go because you just never know, right? The call on BNB continues to pump. I like what's happening to BNB. So this is interesting. We're going to pull the fib here. And you can see from impulse move to the top of the wick, not even that wick, but the top of that wick. And you can see we're basically right at that spot in that 706, 618 golden pocket, ready to make a move. And this says it can get to 25 cents from 9 cents. It's a pretty big move, right? A lot of people are freaking out right now about PENGU. They want to know what's up with PENGU. Is it going to stay hot, remain hot? Let's take a look at Pudgy Penguins. And the last time I looked at it here, I saw it mooning all the way to, you know, 052, and it looks like it's on the way. Almost everything kind of waiting on this bigger triangle. Just be careful, though. It may not be worth just that extra sauce just to be you know. But we'll see. It does look interesting. But if Bitcoin drops, this will lose the trend. So I don't want everyone, oh, he said it was hot, it's going up, you know. He's the lifer. A lot of my calls play out, so people would just blindly, again, please don't ever blindly buy anything you see on YouTube or YouTuber doing. Get yourself your own financial advisor. I am not a financial advisor. Make that really clear. And I won't go over your portfolio for you. I'm not going to, you know, tell you what to buy or sell. I'm a teacher, you're a student. That is the definition of our relationship. And Pudgy Penguins is here to say, PENGU, man. When you have actual dolls in, you know, in stores, and I mean, that's amazing. That thing is done huge. This thing is doing big for adoption for cryptocurrency. I wouldn't be surprised if it pumps. I'll put an alert here just to see if it can stay in the game. We'll see where it is in a couple hours. 12 hours, something like that, maybe a little less. See what happened to PENGU. But it looks like there could be more coming all the way to 5 cents and 0.7 cents for sure. PENGU, baby, PENGU. PENGU. Why does Bitcoin always dump on the good news? What was the good news? Semi, top 3 best no pants advisor. I got pants on. I wear pants, man. Every time I'm on the stream, I got a beautiful set of pants. Nice, cocky, beautiful pants. No joke. No playing games. No, not, you know, no, not OV. Okay, so we're attempting to bounce on the 1 hour. We're attempting to bounce on the 30. Tend to get a bit of a bounce here with the kids. Boom. Take the kids all the way, baby. To the rocket ship, right? Can the whole family go? Boom. And then can everybody make a move today? So we're looking at Bitcoin can kind of bring the whole market back up. The kids of the altcoins. Can Bitcoin help the kids out, right? Take the kids on out of here to the upside and get this move. Can 118 hold for Bitcoin? And can we get this bottom out here? If that candle closes, it could be a tweezer bottom buy. And then, you know, wouldn't be surprised if we go right back up to the same liquidity we just came from. Bitcoin's been doing damage. Someone asked about, good morning, brother. Can you take a look at Trump coin? Keep it real 24/7. That's not easy, keeping it real 24/7. Someone's got to do it, though. I was late on that. I was late. I know. Good morning. Lifers for life. Check Spark. Yep. Sam Hope as well. SD coin. So let's see what here. Sam, how do you feel about the bullish? Okay, we looked at that. Chart Riot. We looked at FARTCOIN. DJI 6930, please. Wow. DJI 6900. Is it 6900 now? No. So it came down a bit, but it's holding a $50 million market cap. And if you extend these levels, it's just getting tighter and tighter. And it could dump. I mean, people are pretty excited with their winning. You know, it went up pretty nicely. They're like, I'm up nice. So they got some big winnings. Did they take it? I see it consolidating, but it is kind of, you know, it was a little more upbeat than it was before. It could be rolling over here. So there's a chance for either thing. But, you know, also a chance that it could roll over. So, you never know with these high-risk memes. Anything could happen. It has a great community. Things are hot right now, but you got to see the market turn around in a pretty big way. And if that happens, I mean, boom, this thing's going to rip. But it's definitely contingent on Bitcoin and the rest of the market being healthy. Bit of a cup and handle, getting tight. I like what I'm seeing. I personally own this coin, so I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to have to either take a beating or stay in. We talked about it here when it was first in this flag. Then we made this big flag there too as well. And the coin just really did perform almost out of every flag that it was in. Now it looks pretty interesting. Thank you for the super chat, but it's still tight. You know, get in at your own risk 100%. And, you know, if that's your kind of bag, baby. DJI 6930, hope all is well. Could you please look at SD coin? Thank you so much for all you do. From Joseph Alfio. Let's take a look at SD coin. SD. Stater, which is a good DeFi product where people could stake, right, and do some cool stuff. So you think it would kind of get some more coverage here. So I just want to look at it though, man. Not doing too good. It's on MEXC. It's on Bybit. It seems to be around, you know, it gets around this coin. Stater. So it had these huge wicks on the 6 hour. Let's go to the daily there. Yeah, so huge wicks. It got really high and then ate them back down. And now it's just kind of dwindling. It is above the 200 moving average on the daily time frame, which is a bullish sign. It's not the worst thing in the world. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, you got to wait for that 21 to catch up here to Stater. And you're coming back to this key level. You got some resistance here that's really nice, which should get a little bit. But if you lose that, then you're coming down. I do think either here or here you get a bounce. You know, it is what I think, but it's what the TA also suggests is going to happen. Pull a Fibonacci all the way to the wick. You can see we come right to the 0.5, almost lower to the 0.618 golden Paquito, right? And then we can go all the way to, I don't know, 1,000, 1.31 as well. So anything is possible. Straight 4 days of straight dumping for whatever reason. I don't know if something happened to the protocol. Looks like it went on a massive tear and came back down. But it is, you know, reapproaching the 21 on the daily. Coming back to a 618 golden pocket, you would expect somewhere in this area it to find a bottom bounce. Again, I would zero in once another daily candle closed and see how the smaller time frames are looking with their 200 moving averages. That's how I would kind of finish that, you know, figure out what was happening there. All right. So just kind of rolling through all these. We've got a lot of awesome people sending in super chats, and that will come back to you tenfold. Thank you so much for doing that. May God bless everyone that does give on the channel. You don't have to, but you do. That's just amazing. So we looked at Spark. We looked at, someone wants to look at Trump coin. It's been a while. Sam Holmes 12, could you look at SD? Yep, so that's what we're looking at. And Lifers for Life. God bless you. Check Spark. We looked at Spark. And can we look at Trump coin now? Somebody asked about. And then MEMEROT. So let's look at Trump. Trump coin, official Trump. Had a nice run up from about 9.7 to about 11.92. Ain't bad. They made this kind of shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? I mean, shoulder, head, right shoulder. Looks like that'll dump to the downside. I don't know. You know, when you look at it, it's in a bigger idea. Like, that's a downtrend, right? Could come back down and bounce, though, with a higher low. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not the best as well. Yeah, look at the daily. It's hugging the 200, the 200 and the 21. Looks like it could get above that key level and continue to pump, but it's, you know, it's not like, oh my gosh, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? And if Bitcoin slumps down, it slumps down a little bit too. Goes sideways. If it, so I'd watch it closely. I'm not writing it off completely, but there's stronger coins out there right now. But it doesn't mean, it's in a giant, bigger double bottom that says over time it can break out. So like, if you can hold your breath, I mean, who knows? We could, it is saying, hey, I'm a double bottom. That will be 24 eventually. I'm just trying to, it's just attempting to put in its first higher low so it can make a move. I mean, can you blame it? It wants to pump, right? Shout out to the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate that. If you didn't hit that like button, please do. Subscribe to the channel too as well. We're on our way to 99,000 subscribers. Once we hit that 99, we'll be so close to 100,000. I'm moving every single day at the speed of light. Every single time I hit this mic, I dream, I desire, I push, I focus. I'm disciplined for 100,000 subscribers. We can get there, but only with your help. And I can't hit the subscribe button 100,000 times and get 100, it's not going to work like that, right? So I have each and every one of you to thank for all the progress, but we got to keep it moving every single day, nonstop. So I appreciate anyone that hits that button. It means a lot. God is good all the time. If he ain't, then you lie and shut. God is good all the time. God bless you, brother. Tayon APT, please. I think we looked at it, but we'll look at that again. So now we'll look at MEMEROT. All right. We'd love to see a top down on Litecoin. Well, we will do that. Get a golden cross on the weekly chart, somebody says. So we'll take a look at Litecoin. MEMEROT. I never heard of it. What is MEMEROT? MEMEROT, right? Let's look at it here. And I love that DJI 6930. MEMEROT. Never heard of it. Tiny market cap. Maybe it does numbers. 500,000. I don't know enough about where it came from, what it does. Market structure doesn't look too bad. Like it's building up and up. It has some, has some previous resistance as support. It's not the worst. That would take it somewhere to about 002. If it did break out of this, shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder. I'm not a huge fan. All right. But thank you for putting it on the radar. Maybe it does something. Who knows? Would love to see a top down on Litecoin. Says my name, CJXCI. Let's take a look at what he's saying here and see his top down on Litecoin. Bitcoin holding 118,000. Getting a nice little bounce there. Seeing if it can hold. It looks like it may. Let's take a look at Litecoin here on Binance. All right. Top down on Litecoin. Let's take a look at the weekly and break down what we're seeing. So right off the bat, I see high stochastics, RSI curving a little bit, and a move. So we did get a pump, and it drained a lot of the bullish momentum, is what it's saying. So we need to find a new way to replenish that. This looks like a broadening, falling wedge in a way, but I'm going to move away from that. It's a little too big. The weekly's good. It's away from the 21 and suggested it's going to come right back down to it. So Litecoin suggests it may have to come meet the weekly, Just one thing you want to think about. We'll take a look at the 3-day chart. It's above this. That's a beautiful kind of double bottom there. And so what I would be looking at is I would really watch the 3-day chart. And I would look for something like this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Which could take about 12 days, right? 4 times 3 is 12. And then, bang. Measured move would take you somewhere to about, 156? So Litecoin looks bullish to me. Look for it to make the bull flag on the 3-day chart, connect to the 21 and rip. That's going to take some time, though. You got to have patience to trade that 3-day chart. It's not going to come overnight. It's going to take time. It's something you have to do and work and work and work. Thanks for all you do. I have to leave the group to deal with my mom passing, but I will be back. God bless you, man. Don't worry, man. God bless you. Maybe we can help you with your mom passing every single day, but you do whatever makes you happy, whatever you think works. God is good all the time. If he ain't, then you lie. God bless you. Let's look at the TA on APT. Thank you, Sam. Let's take a look at APT. And I believe we looked at APT. Well, yeah, last time someone asked me, I said, well, it's at the bottom of the range. Every time it's been here, it has pumped back to the top of the range. So it does say from $4 all the way up to about 15. And it looks like it could do some numbers, almost a triple But that's about it too. And you'd have to take a huge shot and wait for it to happen all day long. And is it really just worth the 3x? I think there's somewhat better out there over time. And this really needed to hold. This is starting to kind of dump. Very well could be a bear flag that just continues to go further to the downside. So, yeah, I would Ixnay. Yeah, coming back down here is the idea. Aptos is struggling for whatever reason. I think there's way better setups out there than Aptos. If you like it long term, by all means, I guess eventually it'll get pulled up. But I mean, I truly believe there's better coins in the long run, in the interim, and things that I would rather be putting my focus on than Aptos. At the moment, I don't want to be rude to the team. They're great, hardworking people. It's all good, but, prayers for Brandon, 100%. Pyth first Gala, you're funny. Feels like posted traffic on the I-95 this morning. No joke, though. You're funny. Okay, so Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Crypto Rank 2. We learned a lot the last time we put 2 and 2 together. Let's see if there could be some interesting information. So Layer 0 still holding up. ENA had a really nice pump. I hold some of that, so I'd like to see that kind of come back. MBG token, very small. They want to get ready for that. That could do a ZORA. Last time we saw ZORA before, and next thing you know, it looked like, it was an NA coin, and then boom, it's gone. There's ZORA right there, back at a $260 million market cap, and went up 196% in 7 days. I mean, a 2x, right? So nothing beats that, like nothing, Chainbase too, C, we'll take a look at Chainbase. That's been hot. It might be hot again. Solana and Aptos look awesome. And there you have it with that, a lot of different people that I've been going over this Celestia. They're a good group of people made this coin. I like that team. Grass was a good team. Lido was a good team of people too. Ondo Finance supposedly is like going to rule the world, right? Newton came out of nowhere with a pretty interesting pump. So, I don't know. There's a lot of different coins out here that still hold weight to me and aren't garbage. They're smaller coins, but they actually have ecosystems. They have reasons to be around, and they have use cases. So, Sahara AI was another one that we found early that did some damage. Eclipse could do that too. Eclipse is small. Like Sahara was very small when we first looked at it. Chainbase too, still pretty small. Kadera, Trust AI, BitLayer. BitLayer may be something interesting to think about. Might actually, a layer on Bitcoin, of course, is what it sounds like, but we'll find out for sure. BitLayer. And you can actually click on BitLayer, see kind of what's going down here. Is a layer 2 solution that achieves Bitcoin equivalent security built on BitVM. It emphasizes a verification process aimed at ensuring security on par with Bitcoin's layer 1. By leveraging BitVM, BitLayer supports an environment where Bitcoin's computational capabilities can be expanded, aligning with the vision that Bitcoin could eventually compute everything. Additionally, BitLayer introduces the BitRC20 asset framework, designed to enrich the ecosystem with a variety of asset classes, fostering a diverse and secure development landscape within the Bitcoin network. BitLayer, and you can do everything on Bitcoin over time. I saw someone talking about, I'm pretty sure when I was out at some of the events, they were BitLayer guys, and they were like, listen, like, Bitcoin could run everything. You don't need any of these altcoins at all to do all the stuff. It's all Bitcoin. And I was like, okay, let's roll, man. I'm all about that. Bit of an Adam and Eve double bottom there. You see it? So Bitcoin holding its own there, retesting the neckline. Got to get that bounce now. Measured move out the Adam and Eve does say that you've hit your bottom for the day, and that you could merc on out. Bang, right? 118.5. The only thing I want to do with my Bitcoin is store it. Okay, amen. Life, you ever heard of TIG? I don't know. They're like Tig Navarro. Tig, like she's a comedian. Sierra versus D-Book versus SL, XLM. That's an interesting concept. I like that idea. Let's take a look at Sierra. How is Sierra holding up? Maple Finance had a really nice run up recently, and so we looked at that too. I wanted to see it bounce off it's near the 200 moving average in the golden pocket. Coincidence? I don't think so. Right? Bang. Then you see the daily kind of creeping near the 21. Makes me want to look at the 4 hour now. And again, like everything else, I'm looking for kind of these, like we got to get the bounce and then make some type of inverted head and shoulder. Like, it looks good, but we need some cool market structure to kind of build this back up again and show us that we can really get a pump. And it takes some time. Syrup, Maple Finance on the radar, right? Well, your bear signal is big on always help my short trading decisions. Yeah. God bless you, brother. Thank you, man. God bless you, brother. KARRAT is going to double easy 20x. KARRAT. I thought it was spelled differently. No, yeah, I remember when this one first came out. And people were freaking out about it, right? KARRAT, I gotta have it. Then it took that dump. Crazy, right? And you're like, I'm so happy I didn't chase it. Then you forget about it. Now it's back with a vengeance. I mean, you got this kind of like this trend line. Then you got this falling wedge. Maybe you could break back to the upside, possibly to this area or into this, you know, at 0.6. Bang. I don't know. It's a bit of a cup and handle. It's holding a higher low. Not my favorite cup of tea, but it looks like it could start a pump. Liver, give the people what they want. They got, oh my gosh, man. No. I got the pants on, man. Hey, Sam, driving VPN on can't disable. Can you please take a look at KERNEL? KERNEL was hot. It had a huge pump, but then, you know, when something goes up that high, you think there has to be some profit taken. Came back up again, though, in the 4 hours. Wow. So KERNEL really keeps holding its own here. You know, I would watch the daily, though, mainly. And I'd like to see some type of flag here on the daily, maybe an uptrending. I would trust the daily time frame if I was going to be trading KERNEL. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else. Like, that's what I would be looking for. KERNEL. Possibly to 37 cents. Right? CRV's been hot, too, as well. I don't know, man. We've covered... This is like one stream where we've covered more coins than almost any stream in the game. CRV was in a flag. I've been watching the flag, babying it for a while. How did it hold? It eventually did pump out the flag. And we gave you CRV. Almost hit the dang target, the first one, at 117, right? So there's one little quick trade right there. Isn't, you know, it didn't hold completely, but... And then we want to look at that ETHBTC. ETH Bitcoin's still inside of this trending flag, and we want to see it hold the trend line. It starts to drop there, then dang. Alt season is no mas. It holds, it starts to pump, and then it shows ETH is leading, and then we can get these alts to continue to bang. All right? Makes me think of KFC. You're funny. Change of structure seems altcoins start moving up. Yeah. And then XRP. Everyone wants to know, like, what's up with the big boy? I thought it's the banker's coin that runs behind the scenes. Had this nice pump. Everything was looking good, but now it might also, you know, kind of collapse. Let's take a look at it here on the daily and the 3-day chart. 3-day chart, I got to tell you, is pretty far away from the 21-day moving average. So let's make our support of resistance and get serious about levels. But, I mean... Man, it got a big bounce there, but then it got a nice quick back down too. You know, I optimistically wanted to see a bounce here on the daily back to the upside and watch consolidation. Well, you know, that would take 5, 6, 7, 8 days, maybe even longer, maybe 12, maybe 15. You know, so this is my original idea. It now looks kind of like it's unlikely like it'll happen, right? It's starting to kind of fall off here. The 8-hour looks to me like it may roll over out of this bear flag. So, man, selling XRP at the top always seems to be the move, right? But that looks like, I mean, I'm not going to be rude, but it looks like XRP could come challenge this high here, 297, or even come down into this level at 276. It's going to have to show us something in the next, you know, these two candles are going to have to bounce. And, you know, for me, it makes more sense. It would go to the top of the channel. Like, what is it doing? But that's a bear flag, and we didn't really get any moves. It's been 8 hours, you know, a bunch of 8-hour candles. So, exactly. Real lifers trade with pants on. 100%. Yeah. And why is everyone obsessed with the pants? I don't understand. What's going on? Why are they obsessed with the pants? I don't get it. This is not a Kevin O'Leary show. I'm just mad. God bless everyone out there. Follow me at CryptoLifer33. I'd greatly Appreciate it. On Twitter, on our way to 40,000 subscribers or followers, however you want to call us here on X.com. I call it the Twitter X. We're posting stuff all the time throughout the weekends. Mentality, ideas, discipline, and more. So show up. We're here to help you. We want to show you so much stuff and teach you more every single day. So thank you, Sam. Shout out to Cherry City Bullies for the $2 super chat. You didn't have to give, but you did. That will come back to you tenfold. And shout out to everyone that gave. We got Cherry City Bullies. We got Brandon G 2001. We got Jit TV 1343. We got DJGM 107. We got Lone Wolf Triple Z CJXCI. Kyle 2790. Keep it real 24/7 yet again. We got Jit TV. We got Joseph Alfio. We got Lazaro Alberto again. We got Zach CHR. We got Powder Hound. My man, God bless you, brother. We've got TLA 989. So awesome people here on the stream. Thank you so much for all those amazing super chats. That's absolutely ridiculous. And, throw your super chat on the board to get your name out there. And shout out to the top fans, too. We got some top fans out here. We got Brandon, TLA, CJXC1, yep, and Joe Alfio, and all the awesome people that super chatted and that are, throwing it down inside the content here, making content with the comments. So I appreciate that. AOIZ is hot. I like AOIZ. It's a pretty nice coin. And, it's deep in. It's got so many options for deep in. It could really take over. Not enough people pay attention to AOIZ too as well. So to me, it could do numbers. There you go. I'm looking for the bounce. Adam and Eve double bottom back to the upside here for Bitcoin. I believe we found the daily bottom yet again. We did it the other day. We could do it again. I don't see why not. Nice pump for BTC. Flip on those moving averages back above the 200 moving average on the 30-second chart. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why. That is just something I backtested for years and it plays. It's amazing. Unbelievable, actually. Can we get back above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame and resolve this day? Flip it, turn the daily candle green and keep pumping. Find our daily bottom, reverse it. False move Monday to the upside. And they grabbed the liquidity. They didn't get all the way to 117.5 though, like they said they would, but they got pretty dang close, right? It says they ate through the liquidity. It's lighter than it was. It's still there though at 117.5. It says there's maybe a couple more people that are hanging on here, or some bigger accounts. So when you look at it, you're like, okay, are the dog and cat coins coming back? You know what I mean? And if they are, what coin would I look at? And you would have to assume once the memes run, Pepe runs, and then you got Whiff to run, and then that plows into POPCAT, and then things start to go crazy, right? But it's, the end of last season may never be, the mini cycle inside of this cycle may never be replicated the way, who knows? You never know. I mean, look at that. I kind of see a head and shoulder pattern there. You see it? Like a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. I'd stay off of POPCAT for at least, I don't know, until it comes back up here and hangs out. It defies that order. But right now, that looks like it's going to go down. Interesting. Another one people like is DOGINME. Even Coinbase grabbed it up, which is funny when you think about it. I mean, it has, this one looks, the structure's a little stronger, right? It's in the cup and handle already. It's bouncing off the fib already, right there. And I can see why maybe this is getting some, a little more attention too. And it's on Coinbase, which makes it pretty hot. DOGINME USD. Bouncing off the 618 golden pocket. And that is a Sammy cup and handy. I never really liked this coin. I don't have any in it, but it's telling me that it's going to pump. So you do you, I'll do me. But the TA says all the way to Valhalla, baby. To the upside, baby. To the upside. Bitcoin getting the bounce. Do we have a bit of a scalpelino here on Bitfinex? Can we have some fun today and live trade it? Only and only if we get the sauce. We're getting close to the sauce, but it looks like it would take some time. We are getting close. What would the sauce be? How would I spin the sauce around? But we would try to, we were looking to get back above the 200 moving average. And I'd look for some type of flag here with the 21 touching. And that would be where I would attack price action for another possible long. Like we could get right there. I could see it happening too. 118,480 for Bitcoin. I like the pump here. And we showed you what was called an Adam and Eve double bottom. That about, I'd say 90% of the time breaks out 40% of the move. So you would take this as the neckline and swing that. And it says, we're going up. Now you can even draw. I mean, your Adam is your triangle. Your Eve is the half a circle. And that's an Adam and Eve double bottom for Bitcoin. Doing damage. So once we kind of see that structure, we can say, okay, looks like the daily candle could be breaking back up to the upside. This is how people long the daily too, you know what I mean? But you gotta, I do it by seeing what's happening on the smaller time frames. I'm looking for that infrastructure. I'm looking for that play. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ here on BTCC. You can trade the NASDAQ on BTCC. You can trade the NASDAQ, Cardano. You could trade Bitcoin, gold, silver. You name it. You can trade, I believe, Apple. It's awesome. And you can trade all the awesome coins like DEGEN, Boom, and Brett and Bitcoin. So it's got access all in one place to multiple exchanges. Also, this is one of the oldest exchanges in the game. People have been trading Bitcoin since, I believe, 14 years, man. So BTCC, I linked up with the team, found out what an awesome long-term exchange it is. And if you ever need to trade other assets, including, Tech 100 is what I trade here too. Like if I go here and I go to Tech 100, that's going to be the nasty NASDAQ, right? And that's where I've made about 16 of 20 trades. We've only lost 4 of them. We've done amazing. We've doubled the account. We're on our way to 5,000, slowly but surely. Look at that V-shaped recovery too for Bitcoin. And anyway, just nice move. Look for that right shoulder. Nice bounce back to the upside there. And I still look for that 200 moving average. And it'll follow it very similar to Bitcoin over time. Wow, so that looks interesting, right? And so we covered some possible opportunity here that I didn't think existed. And that's why you show up every single day. That's why you mend the garden. That's why you grind. You never know when you're going to have to pull out a weed or find a seed that gives you the greatest plan ever. But you put your hands dirty, you get in the garden, you grind it out, and you make it happen, right? And there's times where you're not sure what you're going to find, and you don't know what's going to go on, but you put your best foot forward, and you do it anyway. I love this one saying this guy told me about running a business. He said, work super hard, get bad results. Work super hard, get no results. He's like, work super hard, get good results. He said, if you stop working hard just because you get bad results, then you'll never get the good ones. If you start working hard just because you get good results, then, it's not always going to be good results. So you're going to have bad habits to stop. And if you stop working because you have no results, it means you need something to get back. You just need a work ethic to keep working. He said, so no matter what you're doing, you're working hard. No matter what. If you believe in yourself, if you want excellence, there's no hard way. There's no easy way in. The hard way is the way in. Like doing it, my dad said there's no easy way out. It's just going right, go into it. Get the job done. Begin to do it. Tell yourself what you got to get done and get it done. See how big of a task it is. Say, can I handle it? And then go at it. Step by step. Chew it out. One little piece at a time. Exactly. Just like this channel, just like you build a channel, you don't get 100,000 subscribers overnight. You build them one subscriber at a time, which is crazy, right? 1, 10, 15 at a time, as many as they come that day or the other day, or sometimes 2. Some days are slow, some days are fast, some days, we're ripping, the market's awesome. I'm getting 100 subscribers, 200, 300 a day, 500 a day. I'm on someone's channel, 1,000 a day. It's happened, right? Other times where it's, it's slow, it's not the same. So you just go forward every single day and keep pushing. Whether it's trading and learning trading is the same way. You're going to struggle. You're going to go up and down. Just don't overuse tons of money, in my humble opinion, that you don't need to lose. You know, my idea is to demo trade this stuff or use small amounts to learn the lessons. You know, I can learn the same lesson when I lose $100 that I can learn using 1,000. I don't need to lose $1,000 to find out that I should wait for the 21 to get over the 200. You know what I mean? If you keep doing the same thing, write down what you did, compare it to success, and then say, hey, well, I should have changed these 2 things. I was more successful with these few things, and then, you know, it's going to be a daily practice, an all-time battle. It's never going to end. It's going to be 24/7 if you get into trading. I'm telling you now. I'm warning you now. But you people are crypto lifers. You seem like you're ready and built for it. So, hey, I don't think I can scare you out of this. I think you're ready to rock all the way, baby. No fear, right? Fear is fake emotions acting real. What do? They only hurt you and entrap you. They're not real. They're not going to hold you, you know. So shout out to anyone who's conquered their fears. They do nothing. We continue to push through the fear. Shout out to everybody here on the live. 500 likes. That's absolutely beautiful. Dear Lord, thank you for all the awesome people you have sent my way into the live stream. It's going to come back up. The market's going to rip again. We'll be back in September, October. I'm telling you, people are going to miss out on some of the greatest prices that they saw drift away. But this market's pushed the limits of how much patience you need. It's really been a what I say, kind of like a veteran's market. Because a veteran knows how much time has to pass. A veteran understands that nothing is free. And that there's always going to be that patient period for the people that want to win. You know? People that don't want to win will miss out. Right? They'll decide to take some time off. And it's sad to say, but that's what will happen. Not everybody can lose, just like not everybody can win, right? Someone's got to win. Not everybody can be the loser. CLORE AI coins. You're looking for tightness here so it can boom back to the upside. I'm putting an alert on CLORE. It's definitely something I'm going to be watching closely. CLORE AI, baby. Bang, bang, dang. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Some people that work from home don't take their work seriously, unlike you, Sam. So they're professional from the waist up. Memes and commercials make fun of working from home. Hey, shout out to Underground Cryptos and Big Consensus. Hi, Sammy, Cup and Andy. You're funny, right? God bless you, brother. Hey, Sam, really enjoyed your class on Saturday. Enjoyed it so much that I didn't take notes, but still rely on your Doku PowerPoint. Will it be sent by mail or where can I find it? It should be sent to you by mail. I'll make sure it gets sent today, yeah. Can you check out IDEX? Thank you, bro. I love you. Thank you. XRPH saying they're going public on X. That's really weird, right? And XLM. Let's take a look at IDEX. IDEX on MEXC here. So they had a nice run up from 2 cents all the way up to about 4 cents. 4 and a penny. But now they look a little extended, no? They're above the 200 moving average on the daily. It would make me move to the 8 hour. Again, kind of like Bitcoin though. Like everything's looking for this bounce now too. Wouldn't be surprised if this goes down a little more before it finally bounces. It's a little awkward. We need to bounce there. All right. Please check Floki. BTC dropping again, somebody says. False move Monday. I don't expect a lot out of Monday. 118.2. Pretty strong right now for BTC. It did get rejected, look, by the 200 moving average, though. You got to get back above that to remain bullish. Otherwise, you will see more downside for Bitcoin. It's just how it is. Okay, Sammy has changed my entire household from the upside. It's amazing. Mr. Flawless, thank you for saying that, man. You didn't have to do that, but you made my whole day, man. So God bless you. Manta and Kyoto unlocks. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a lot of dumping then. Sam has changed. Thank you. Tau unlock. Wow. We consider you our life coach, Sam. God bless you. Thank you. Well, I consider you guys my life support system, man. So God bless all the lifers. I appreciate you all for always being here with me. The past 4 weeks, we've been pumping on a Sunday, then we dump on a Monday. Every time, right? Kind of obvious. That's why, tomorrow's going to be the day. And then we have a lot coming our way. What if we get an emergency rate hike? What if something happens? That's why it's so important to pay attention for the next few days. A lot is happening in crypto. If I pay attention anytime, it would be this crypto time. Let's talk about gainers, top trending. Gains. Wow, heavy trader grade. But you got Arsenal, Dynex, Let's Stop, which is stop, right? Vine, of course, which got just absolutely moon. Reef still in the mix, which is amazing. Assemble AI, Collateral, Gore, and I'll post most of these back to the group, but they get this stuff all the time just in case, hey. Shout out to the bot. If you want to jump into the bot that we have running all day long, I have a link to the bot in the description of the videos. You can sign up to basically a call. They'll sit down with you, explain you how the bot works, what it does, and you can figure out if it fits your lifestyle. I think it's pretty awesome. I've been running the bot for about a year now, and it's changed my life in perspective and what I think about trading, automatic trading, which is crazy. We get all the good feelings here now, and it's such a blessing. God bless you, man. Best thing since sliced bread. Amen, right? Amen. Mid-August unlocks mentioned above. Thank you for saying that, man. A lot of coins coming out with unlocks. Be careful. He gave it to us, right? Mine wasn't set. You will get the class notes. Don't worry. We will mass send it to everybody. It was yesterday. We'll make sure it gets sent out. Or it was Saturday, actually. We'll make sure it gets sent out. Yep. Yeah. But thank you for reminding, just in case. You never know. Hey. But we're on top of it. We'll make sure they get sent. But I like it. People are hungry. They're like, I want to keep learning. If I'm not mistaken, the biggest altcoin bull run pumps have been the couple of weeks after Christmas and New Year's. Yes, or into and also, October and November, we've had some massive pumps. And that last time they pumped up into March. March 17th was the highest they ever were. And then things just started to get out of control. You want to kind of see what was the top of that rally like and why, and how did we top out, right? And so you kind of want to look at any coin. What was it? At any coin, really. We could look at Cardano and go back to March 17th. And I believe, it should be the high right there. Or November. So Cardano's high was November. No, but we got that spike right there. Look, March 24th. Like all the coins pumped. Looked like we were going to get on our next level. And then that was it. Funny, we're not much lower than the high. Cardano's in a little different story from that March high, but there was a lot of other coins that just did absolute damage. GFI came out of nowhere, absolutely ripped, and then right into that March high. They've since rebalanced the ticker or whatever, so it doesn't look the same. But man, that thing was crazy, absolutely crazy. Sorry, not definitely, man. I don't know what he's saying there. Yeah, let's take a look at BNB. I got a call for BNB, and it's just been absolutely hot. And it was obvious to me. It was a big coin, a lot of liquidity, and it started looking like it was likely going to take off, right? So I just want to show you kind of the BNB call here and why I liked it so you could learn from it. So the moving averages were super tight here on the daily, and we were getting very tight inside of the channel, right? Very simple stuff. It looked like we would continue further to the upside, and then we started making this kind of flag. And I started projecting the flag there, as you can see. And lo and behold, that one broke out too. And it's still kind of on its way. 4 hour just needs to reset a little bit, maybe make a flag. So if I was trading BNB, right, you're just watching for some type of flag here on the 4 hour time frame. If you can get a flag on the 4 hour time frame, man, that's just, that's kind of what we're looking for. And then boom, it gets that move all the way up to 973. So BNB on the move, and then the bigger target I have is $1,300. When I look at it on the big picture here, I just don't see how it, 1,031. I don't see how it can't get to $1,031. And so far from our entry there at 650, this thing is soaring at 850. It's already up like 200 on 600. It's up basically a little under 30% gains. So shout out to anyone that took the BNB call, continuing to kill it. Absolutely do damage. I love what I'm watching here for BNB. It's hot. Can't say it's not. It's BNB and it's hot. That reminds me of the cake. You know, cake is ripping, and cake finally broke that $3 level. Cake didn't look as beautiful, but still did damage, right? And so when you look at cake kind of in general, I had it in this big channel. Just kind of threw it here, and I kept talking to the group, like, I see this thing breaking out eventually. Cake. Has a resistance right there that it got back above at 289. So again, same thing with cake. I just want to see it kind of come back to the daily 21-day moving average. I like where it is, though. It's pretty close, and it doesn't look like it's going to have to retrace too much before it gets another pump to the upside. Cake, baby, cake. Get them gains, DEGENs. Yeah. Gains, baby, gains. And there you have Bitcoin back at 118.4. 118.4 looks like it's not giving up here to try to take out this 1 minute 200 moving average. It takes that thing out, it could pump. Boom, right? We could be on our way to another bigger move. So defy this head and shoulder pattern here, get the pump, break the 200, bring the 21 with it, and see if we can start to get a pump here. Looks like the daily, you know, attempting to put in the daily bottom for Bitcoin. Adam and Eve double bottom has been created. We talked about it, right? At 117.8888, right? 117.888 could have been that bottom. Think how we had BNB for gas years ago. I know, right? And it was just $1. BNB was so cheap. I mean, it was insane. God bless you. Thank you for everything you do. Any thoughts on DEGEN? Shout out to Mike Rec. Let's take a look at what you're asking about DEGEN. I still hold the DEGEN coin because I believe in the Coinbase ecosystem, right? Man, it tells me it could do numbers. I was looking for it to break out of here and just, but no, we never got that, right? So that's a trade that did not play out. Just make sure you see some trades do not play out. Not every trade plays out. That's just not going to happen, right? I wish it did. I'd be a bot though, right? And I know I'm not a bot, so then what would happen? Then I'd have to come to terms that I'm not always going to be right. Still kind of like the flag that it's in, and it still says it continue to do damage. Bit of a cup and handle. It's oversold. Very tight. Below the 200 moving average, though. You want to see it break that 200 on that daily and stay above the 200 on the 4-hour here. I think I just went up. Sorry, DEGEN. Oh, yeah, I looked at it on Coinbase, right? Yeah. So, I mean, it just, you know, it's in a flag. I love that it came back down to the bottom of the range one more time. And I'm overly optimistic for this coin. Bit of an inverted head and shoulder. Could get the bounce. And, you know, I could see DEGEN eventually getting a move. I own it because I believe in the Coinbase ecosystem. And I don't think they're going to give up on a lot of the coins that are connected, you know. Like Brett will pump. The DEGEN will pump, right? Aerodrone, all that, right? Hey, Lifer, hype looks ready to rip. Thank you. God bless. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. Shout out to Michael Rack. Let's take a look at Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid on the radar. And I like Hyperliquid. I'm agreeing too. It looks like it's about to pump out this flag to the upside. My target's 61 for Hyper. I've been watching it for a long time in this beautiful uptrend. And I'm still in Hyperliquid, so let's go, baby. Let's go. TAI, disappointing. Last time I looked at it, same idea, just, you know, hanging out down here, just chilling. But it isn't a giant cup and handle. When the market rips, this thing could wake up and continue to pump. I'm in it, though, and I'm kind of like, come on, Tarzai, do something. Right? Best wishes from Colombia. Can you please do FARTCOIN? We already did FARTCOIN. Go check it out. It's back inside the pattern. It could break out. You never know, right? You never know. What's your view on Chainlink long term? I like it. I hold it. You know, so I think it could do numbers, go up to 50, 60, maybe even one. It should go back to 150 one day is what I would like to see. Chainbase. For whatever reason, is it cooked or something? What happened to it? We did look at it before, but, you know, we can always look at it right And there it is on KuCoin. Funny. Chainbase back to 36. Looks pretty hot right now, actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the spot. I'm going to look at right on spot. Like ZBCN, I call it ZBCN, but the ZBCN network, that looks hot right now. And it's really still doing its thing. Like, that's a really nice consolidation. So, hey, anything can happen. But that definitely looks like it's getting into the hot spot right there. I like what I'm seeing, so. Curved out, slight pullback. Yeah, best wishes, Columbia. Thank you. Hyperliquid, yeah, I think Hyperliquid is really a big play for the quarter, for sure. Yeah. 21 crossing the 200 on the 15 semi. Okay. You know, that's the sauce. That's what we're looking for here. So. SCI is hot. Very hot. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to see CUSD. They got a perpetual. I want to look. There it is right there, right? Spot. I mean, this thing looks hot to me. It looks like it's going to boom. I have to be honest with everybody. I mean, it looks hot. So if anything can break out today, Chainbase looks hot. It kind of already had a run up. Then it went sideways. Now it's consolidating. And I know it's high risk, high reward. It's a brand new coin. But this is how I find my gains. I speculate based on high probability technical analysis. Right? So we use that probability behind our speculation to back up the call. Works great. Mathematical entries. I like the look of this right now. It looks pretty spicy to me. I think we just found a winner here. Again, you know, Chainbase looks nice on MEXC. It's also a lot of other places too. So wherever you kind of fit in there to snatch it up. But I mean, it looks a lot like ZBCN network. They both look very almost hand in hand. That's another hot altcoin in the game there. BONK looked hot, member. So we went over a lot of different coins today. And I think we narrowed it down to like 3 to 4 really amazing opportunities. Again, you'll be reminded by them in the trading group, right? You can also go through all the timestamps and put that all together. But amazing, right? Unbelievable. So, she likes me, Sammy. She likes me. Hey, God bless you. I'm happy everything's going your way, brother. Yeah, ETH back at 38.8. That's all right. That's why we take profits. All right. DEGEN looks stellar. 777s. It does. It does. And Chainbase. So a lot of things kind of, you know, starting to look pretty interesting. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance just for a split second. Not going to spend all day on it here. Just those, you know, and so Bitcoin dominance, you know, attempting to bounce there with the higher low too. You wanted to see that kind of struggle a little more. Now it's, you know, but again, have it bounce into a bear flag. That's fine. You know, bear flag bounce, continue the continuation, and then bang. That thing can start to do something like this. Get tight and then fall all the way back down. Somewhere get to about what? 55.92, right? Check alts in December, January. You're funny. The spirit of gambling. I don't know. I don't know. TOKABU. I'm all set, man. He says check the TIA on the 30-minute. It's a bit funny to be doing the 30-minute on TIA. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, can it bounce off that 200 moving average? That's a go-to place for a possible bounce. This coin's just no fun, though. It's really annoying. It sits flat. It's just, I've given up on it. When the market gets high, hopefully I can sell a piece of it and call it a day. But this coin has just been wah, 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 you know. So, you know, we didn't get a lot of the movement we thought we would get out of the Atom injective ecosystem for whatever reason. It just didn't, it wasn't booming, so to speak. So TOKABU is a good coin on Sol, actually. Thank you for saying that. Top pub fun coin. Thank you. Wow, TOKABU. He's like, wow, it was hot. I'll look at it just for fun, but, you know, everyone stay away or do whatever makes you happy, right? I mean, it's up only right now, and it's showing like a rising wedge and an inverted head and shoulder, similar to like Bitcoin on the weekly. So could it break out? That would be healthy for the overall market. Just the idea of that. I mean, it looks like it's going to go parabolic in some way. It's market cap's tiny. It could happen. Something could happen, but you never know. Just saying, this would be the year to 4 to the boo, baby. Yeah. Send super chat, boys, and support the lifer. Keep it real since podcast. God bless you if you want your coin TA. Thank you for saying that, man. God bless all the awesome people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Again, thank you for all the super chats and the fan funding. Anyone that gave today, $81 in chat revenue. You people are absolutely amazing. We got DEGEN, IDEX, XRPH. We got to finish off with an XLM here. So we're not done yet. XRPH, XRP Health. Someone said going public. XRP Healthcare. I didn't even know that was real. I thought, you never know if these are like memes or they're real. Funny, I found some of this stuff so funny. Like, but like, what is XRP Healthcare? Like, we find out it's like healthcare with XRP, and that's that simple. But you know, we'd say that it's in a falling wedge. It's just making a cup and handle, and eventually they're gonna, you know, they're going through a tough time. XRP Health, but they'll make it through. But you know, that is a cup and handle. It would explode. But again, it has to get back above the 200 there, continue up. Bit of a cup and handle with a higher low, though. It does look like you could see some numbers, XRP Health. But it's always just been a, I don't know. That coin's been interesting to me. Stellar Lumens, we were saying either it's going to one or two ways, right? It's going to make a falling wedge this way, or it's going to make a sideways flag. It made the falling wedge. So you can delete everything and make okay. Falling wedge touching the 21. Now you look at it kind of on the 3-day chart. You want to see if it's too far from the 21 there. It looks like, yeah, I'd say it has to come back down there too. Massive pumps, but I mean, you got to come back to your 3-day 200 moving averages. QUBIC, please, somebody said here from Reliable J. Let's take a look at QUBIC. QUBIC's been around a long time. Let's take a look here. So it bottomed out for whatever reason at 7.3. Found this level to bounce off of 2. Flagged out and mooned. Right now it's away from the 21 and pretty hot. 10-hour looks interesting though. So I'd watch it closely, but it looks like there could be a pump here. Nice little pump to the upside over here. Yeah, so this looks interesting, QUBIC. And there you get a bounce all the way up, you know. Hey, it looks interesting. 8 hours still has legs. This thing could pump. The bigger time frame's a little extended, so there's some risk there, but I think you're onto something there. And it looks interesting. Everybody, it was an altcoin melee. We went through it so crazily. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. ZORA, the alert, that thing looks like, wow. Like, could that thing continue to pump too? All right, we got it in a flag like this. What if it just hits the 21 and goes on another tear? ZORA, I'm going to move that alert over and watch it again. So as I keep seeing things, we'll keep pumping it to you. We like to pump pretty hard later on tonight into tomorrow. That's when the liquidity likes to come, and we'll see if we can get it. So shout out to everybody here on the live that stayed through the end of the show. God bless you. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button. Keep it pushing. I'll be back tomorrow for another amazing, awesome live stream. God bless every single one of you, and thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life, baby. Thank you so much for the love. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Keep pushing. Never stop. This is your time. Today is the day, man. You're not a tree. You can make a move. You've got this. I love you. The secret to success, you know what it is. It's getting started.